Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning back into Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the self-titled album from The Professionals. So The Professionals is a hip-hop duo that's consisting of the legendary producer Madlib and his younger brother Oh No. And this self-titled album over here is their debut as The Professionals. Madlib is one of the most well-known and legendary hip-hop producers in the game, in my opinion. He doesn't really need an introduction at this point. And his younger brother Oh No has actually been around for a little while, dropping projects since the early 2000s, a lot of which were collaborations actually. Most recently was his 2019 collaboration with Blue along Red Hot's Los Angeles Summer Night, which was actually a pretty decent record. So going into this new album here, I was really excited and intrigued to see what Madlib would do with his brother. And honestly, the results are actually a little inconsistent, and it ranges from being like mind-blowing to not so mind-blowing. The production on here from Madlib still sports a lot of his textbook qualities that we've come to know and love of his like lo-fi, chopped and screwed production style, with his pretty diverse yet specific sampling choices. Now this project doesn't have as many like soul-centric samples woven into it like you'd find on his collaborations with Freddie Gibbs. A lot of the sounds on here are a little more sci-fi inspired sounding, with some really odd vocal samples in the mix as usual, and they kind of sound like they're coming out of some like late night television programming from the 80s or something. At times, the beats on this project are dense as hell, and they're always throwing some kind of melody or sometimes multiple melodies at a time at you, and it's all mixed pretty strangely and makes up for a pretty psychedelic experience. These beats do progress on a little bit more of a linear path though, with not as many beat changes and tempo changes as some of his past projects, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but some of these tracks actually kind of suffer and become a little stale because of it. Like on the track Superhumans, there's some live drumming on this cut, but the melody that loops throughout the entirety of it can become tedious to sit through over its 4.5-minute runtime. And I feel pretty much exactly the same about tracks like Timeless Treasure and Tired Atlas. And I guess as I'm riding the complain train here, it doesn't really have a strong opening to this record either. We get this like kind of strange skit that opens up the album with the cut My House that runs directly into the next track, The Pros. I do like the beat that's on this cut, but we basically just get an opening verse here from Oh No that lasts about a minute, and then there's kind of like a really long-winded outro. The track doesn't really do much, in my opinion, to really establish and introduce these two as a duo under The Professionals name. But I mean, hey, we're talking about a project that's got Madlib on it here, so you know in this record there's gonna be some straight fire. The first being the track Payday. There's a great bass line that's on this one that's really catchy, and it's layered in with all of these melodies that sound like they're coming either out of like doorbells or chimes. It's kind of hard to tell, but they're kind of woven in a little bit faintly in the background that you can almost tell when they're there or not. But easily my favorite track on this whole project is Give and Take. I think Madlib and Oh No are both at the top of their game on this cut. I am just in love with the beat on here. There is so much to unpack. The twinkly like looped melodies on here and all the endearing vocal samples that come in. I mean, if you close your eyes and listen to this track, you just get things that are swirling around the mix in this really psychedelic way, and it's almost like sensory overload. Also, the track A Way Too Long is kind of a strange one. Oh No's voice is really present on the mic on this track as he comes in and out of the beat, which is actually pretty abstract and strange sounding. It sounds like there's a mix between some like 80s television programming and like a soul song that are like crossing paths with each other and it's going awry or something. But I mean, overall, I thought this project was actually pretty enjoyable. I think Oh No held his own really well in this record over Madlib's psychedelic production with some relentless flows and tons of references to smoking weed. And even though this might not be my favorite production from Madlib, there are still some huge highlights as I was expecting. The pacing of this record was a little bit hurried with some kind of lulls in the track list, but overall, I'd love to see these two follow this up with the second album. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 7.5 over here in The Professionals. So if you enjoyed this record, I highly suggest picking it up on a vinyl copy, as that's probably going to be the best way to consume this record. There was like a limited neon glow-in-the-dark vinyl that came out through HMV Shop that was limited to 500. That's sold out by now. Fat Beats does have an exclusive LP that comes included with the instrumentals and a bonus 7-inch that features a track with Freddie Gibbs on it, actually. And you can also pick this up as a standard issued LP through Rap Cats, so I'm going to leave links down below for all those for you guys. And if you listened to this Professionals record, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like down below so more people can see it and share it. And if you like album reviews and music content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Peace.